Greetings. Unit 14 is the only week that we are going to dedicate to the structure of poetry. There's a whole section dedicated to this in the textbook. Structure in poetry was never my particular strength, and it doesn't have to be yours to pass the course. But we do have to learn some of the basics in order to basically pick up on a bit of it. I've included a lot of traditionally structured poems for this unit. So almost all of them are going to go back to this section here on structure in the textbook. We're going to look at things like their meter, right, and their rhythm scheme, if it's an iamb. So if it's going up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down, or if it's got some other sort of structures to the way that a word rolls off the tongue. So for example, a dactyl is a word like willowy, right? It's one word, and it's will-o-e, right? So it's high, low, low. Just do your best as it is. But mostly, it's not so much identifying it. If it was just about identifying it, well, then we'd all be pretty good at it. The question is, for me, and probably for you, is whether that structure helps. People like repetition. People like structure. People also like breaks from structure. The odd thing is, so if you take a poet like Emily Dickinson, well, Emily Dickinson now is known as a very formal structure person. But in her time, she was actually breaking very small structure rules that were seen as being mind-blowingly avant-garde. It's true, right? So she actually made her name and became sort of famous by doing something slightly different than the norm. Now we view her as straight down the pipe, just like, normal rhyming love poetry sort of thing, which is fine. I personally like poetry that isn't necessarily about love, but that's just me. Everybody has their thing. So do read the section on structure. Do try your best to figure out the rhymes and the stanzas. Rhymes and stanzas are actually easier than the actual iambic pentameter, like the actual lilt of it. So don't worry about that. And think about how that fits and how that helps the poet to reach their reader. Also think of some reader response criticism as to whether that makes sense for you, or if you'd rather see the poem chopped up different, right? Like, did it respond to you? Did it help it to resonate with you? So have fun. I look forward to seeing your thoughts.